And staying with that urban architectural theme, according to a study published earlier this year by The Lancet, Paris is the European city where the risk of dying of heat is the highest during a heat wave. The French capital is particularly vulnerable as the city's homes use zinc, a heat-absorbing metal on their roofs, exacerbating high temperatures. Joining me now is Swiss architect Philippe Rahm, who specialises in sustainable urban architecture. Thank you very much for your time. Paris, as I mentioned there, has some distinct design flaws thanks to its famous Haussmann buildings and their lead roofs. So what can be done within buildings, especially older buildings, to protect people from extreme heat?
Is to have thermal insulation because, during the day, if there is no thermal insulation, like 20 centimeters of thermal insulation, the heat from outside will go through the wall and so it will become very hot inside. So by creating a thermal insulation, you isolate the internal space from the external. So this is the first measure that we have to do. And then we have to close the window during the day in order that the hot air cannot go inside. And during the night, you have to open the window to let the cold air from the night going inside. And then it's important to have some mass inside, like masonry or something that can absorb the coolness of the night. And then during the day, it will release this cold inside the interior, and so it will be better. And then, of course, we have to manage the question of the light. So we have to close the louver, to close, to block the radiation from the sun from the south in order to not have radiate heat inside. And then something that can be really good is to paint in white the roof and also all the horizontal of the city in order that the radiation can bump on the roof and go back to the sky, and so it will cool, let colder the roof of the building. So this is some measurements that we can take immediately. And then, of course, there is some other type of cooling by evaporation. If you have some water or some jet water inside the house, like in Morocco, for example, they have that in the courtyard. So the physical change from liquid to gas need energy, and so it reduces the temperature of the air. So this is something that we can do for fighting the heat waves.
Philippe, as an Australian who's grown up in a country which deals with extreme heat, and the architecture and the urban architecture certainly does what it can to counterbalance that. On a town planning scale, what can authorities do in European countries such as France to heat-proof cities?
Yeah, because the city was built for the old climate. So if we want to adapt to the new climate, we need to look to Africa, to the north part of Africa, or what type of solution they were already using in the past. So you can see that the streets were very narrow, so the sun cannot go inside. So the street in Europe, in France or in Switzerland, they are too large, so the sun can go everywhere, and so it's overheat. And because there is some black surface of bitumen, so it's absorbed the heat and it's become too hot. So this is, of course, it's quite complicated to reduce the size of the street, but this is what we have to do in the future. And then we have to think about to create shadow. So it can be made by textile, by roof, by trees, in order to block the sunshine and to keep cold the street. And then when you open the window from your house, the air will be colder.
Philippe Rahm, I'm afraid we're running out of time. I'm so sorry, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much again.
Thank you very much.
And to read more about why Paris is such a deadly city in heat waves, you can head to our website, that being france24.com.